while Andhra Pradesh is bracing for the cyclone to hit, there is already heavy downpour, but the intense downpour and inundated areas were witnessed in Chennai, in Tamil Nadu. That is where it's also a return for many of the nightmare of 2015 flood. This is because of the cyclone fury Michaung around. You're looking at the visuals of how cars have got stuck in inundated areas. The cyclonic storm, meanwhile, is headed toward Andhra Pradesh, leaving the city of Chennai, also in Tamil Nadu, inundated in parts. Heavy rainfall was witnessed in these areas. Michaung cyclone has killed about 5 people who've been confirmed dead in Chennai. Home Minister Amit Shah has taken stock of the situation, assuring Chief Minister Stalin of all possible help. Rescue team are on standby. 4,000 doctors have been told to be on duty. Motor pumps have been deployed in busy city waterlogged areas, while the Met Department has issued a strong alert, a red alert in Chennai. Heavy rainfall is expected to continue throughout the day. So if you're a resident of Chennai, be cautious, be careful, and ensure that you know about arrangements around you as well.
तो इस साइक्लोन का इम्पैक्ट आप अभी से तमिलनाडु में देख सकते हैं कि काफ़ी बारिश वहाँ शुरू हो चुकी है ऑलरेडी, और इसके जो रिव्यू अरेंजमेंट में स्टेट गवर्नमेंट ने काफ़ी अच्छा अरेंजमेंट किया हुआ है। तमिलनाडु आंध्रा गवर्नमेंट के साथ सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट ने इसका रिव्यू भी किया है पहले, और एनडीआरएफ की अभी हमारी 24 टीमें डिप्लॉयड है। तमिलनाडु में 11 टीम है, आंध्रा में 9 टीम है और पौंडीचेरी में 4 टीम डिप्लॉयड है। और हमने रिजर्व टीम भी रखा हुआ है कि इसका इंटेंसिटी और इम्पैक्ट के हिसाब से अगर जरूरत होता है, स्टेट की तरफ से डिमांड आता है, तो हम और भी टीम इसमें डिप्लॉय करेंगे।
तो आप देखिए कि ये जो समुद्री तूफान है वो काफी ज्यादा पास पहुंच चुका है, साइक्लोन बन गया है, और ये अब धीरे धीरे उत्तर दिशा में आगे बढ़ेगा और फिर ये जो तट है आंध्र प्रदेश का उसको पार करेगा। अगर हम देखें इसको मैप के द्वारा तो आप देखिए कि इस जगह पर यानी कि ये चेन्नई और नेल्लोर के काफी ज्यादा पास पहुंच चुका है, यानी तट के काफी ज्यादा खतरनाक स्थिति में, तट के काफी क्लोज जाकर के ये रिकर्व कर रहा है। अगर ये सीधा आगे आता तो हो सकता है कि चेन्नई या तिरुपति के आसपास लैंडफॉल कर जाता और ये 4 तारीख को ही कर जाता, लेकिन ये रिकर्व जब कर रहा है तो रिकर्व कर रहा है ये उत्तर दिशा में, और जो भारत का तट है वो आप देखिए एकदम सीध में है, तो उसके साथ साथ आगे जाएगा पैरेलल, और फिर जो भारत का तट है आप देखिए इस तरह से एक तरह से ओरिएंटेड है, तो यहां पर जाकर के ये जो मछलीपट्टनम और नेल्लोर के बीच में आंध्र प्रदेश के तट पर यह दस्तक दे देगा, और ये 5 तारीख की सुबह के समय यानी दोपहर से पहले ही ये लैंडफॉल कर जाएगा।
So remember, while the cyclone is to make a landfall in Andhra Pradesh, even in Tamil Nadu, the repercussions of the wind speed of the rainfall are seen. Shilpa Nair is joining me from T Nagar in Chennai, and Shilpa, for many it was a reminder of 2015. Even around you right now, I see that the area is completely inundated. But what happened? How long was that downpour that the city has resulted in such massive waterlogging?
Well, Pooja, yes, it's the morning after rains battered Chennai for close to 24 hours. There were continuous rains, and that too heavy rains, and that is the reason why Chennai city came to a standstill. And even now, the good news, of course, is that the rains have stopped, and now, of course, water has started to recede in several places, but not at a faster rate. And that is the reason why even in the core city areas, you see visuals like these where it's completely waterlogged. But yes, the levels of water has definitely come down, but the interior region and the suburban regions of Chennai, that is where the most impact is as far as the flooding is concerned. The core city areas, the water has started to drain out, and this is what the Chennai Corporation too has been waiting for, because yesterday they simply couldn't do anything in terms of draining out the water because there was continuous downpour, and even if they had installed pumps and motors, there was a high tide, so the water was simply not going out of the city into the sea. Several waterways, several rivers and lakes, all of them were brimming. It was overflowing already. So the water draining was not happening at the pace at which it should have. So today, of course, once the landfall also gets over, the experts are hoping that the high tide, the sea comes back to normal and more water can be pushed out of the city into the sea. And that is when, the water will start draining out of the streets. But the big challenge also is to restore power. Even now, there is a huge section or a huge area where there's no power. The electricity department, of course, had switched off power in most parts of the city because of the heavy rains. Chennai has underground cables, so every time water goes up, they switch off the power so that there is no damage to the wires, because that would take more days to repair. So that is the reason why every time there's heavy rains or there's water logging, heavy water logging, the electric lines are switched off. But in certain pockets, they've started to restore electricity. And today also, Tamil Nadu government has announced public holiday in Chennai, Kanjipuram, Chengalpet and Tiruvallur. These are the neighboring districts of Chennai, to ensure that people do not venture out unnecessarily, because you can see the kind of visuals. Roads are still waterlogged, roads are still
Is it still raining around you, Shilpa, or has the rainfall stopped and now, of course, people are just waiting for the water to recede as well from the waterlogged areas?
Well, Pooja, people of Chennai were extremely happy to see the sun today, because the sun finally came out after a very, very cloudy day yesterday. So it's not raining per se, but yes, it's quite moody, the weather. There could be rains, but not to the extent that we saw yesterday. It will be much, much lesser than what Chennai received yesterday. And it's been unprecedented rainfall. If we go by the data that has been put out by private weather experts, the rainfall that Chennai received yesterday was much more than what happened in 2015 when the city saw devastating floods. So no city, of course, is handled, prepared to handle that kind of rainfall, even though stormwater drains were laid, all of that were done. The downpour was such that the city ended up flooding, and that, of course, is what has led to this situation. But the government now says that they can now focus into relief and rescue work, because the rains have stopped, and that means they can now swing into action and ensure that water is drained out and to ensure that life comes back to normal in the city.